Kwabena Serwaa champion. I'm a lawyer by profession. This is my dearest husband.
Okay, so my name is Kwabena Kwabena. I'm an economist and a social entrepreneur. I have the side business called Standard Weave, where we provide extra tuition support services, educational scholarship schemes, and then rural electrification access to students and schools in deprived communities through the sales of hand-woven kente stores. You know, the thing they put around their neck during graduations. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, on all social media platforms at Standard Weave, or log on to www.standardweave.com and place your orders. How I met Jennifer still remains a puzzle within us. It's a puzzle that took a long time to actually get the very last puzzle piece to fit in. So Jennifer and I have been friends for a very long time, a great while, you know, where we attended primary and JHS together. I mean, the elementary aspect of our education was together, but there was never a time we made contact or we spoke. I used to see her every day, but I never talked to her. And I'm sure she also sees me, but then we never talk. And I mean, that went on, and we completed school. So when we went to the senior high school, at the time we were about to write the WASI, there was this extra tuition classes that everybody around Spentex and Sakumono used to go to for classes and all that. So she happened to be there too, but we never spoke. For a great while, we never spoke. When I see her, I just passed by. Not that we were fighting or we had anything between us, but I just couldn't talk to her because, and I didn't like it then. So, so what happened was, during the classes, I think it was her birthday. So, you know, they were planning what to do for her and what to do to her. You know, usually when it's birthdays, the guys want to pound, they want to throw sand and all that to make the day remarkable. But because I wasn't so close to her, none of her friends at the time put me in such conversations or in such groups to plan the birthday. So when the birthday finally came, you know, they did what they could do. They threw sand at her, they threw water, and she had also brought in a lot of food, which was in a car. So they met, and then you know, she was dishing out the food while they were pounding her and all that kind of thing. But it was very weird for me because I didn't understand why you would want to do such things to people when it's on their special day. So I just stood behind watching them. So after they had done, you know, they lighted the place. It looked so dirty, and she was also looking very, very. I don't even know why are you looking at me that way. She was looking unkept. So what I did was I quickly picked up, you know, I cleaned the place, and I got her, I wiped her, I took the food, the remaining food, I packed everything in a car, you know, like we did everything together, and that was actually the first time we spoke. So, yeah. What did I even say to her? She was like, thank you, because I still, at the time, I had not said a word, I was just helping her. But I was wondering why they would do such a thing to her. So when I did that, she was like, thank you, she's Jennifer, I'm like, I'm Kwabena, blah, 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 and all that. We had a conversation. And she asked for my number. I would never forget. You asked for my number. I remember. She asked for my number. So when she took my number, then she messaged me. Then I saved the number and all that. So that was when we actually spoke. So that was when I met her. Yeah.
That's not true.
You know, you took my number.
That's not true. But please take note that.
And no, good. You see, she took my number. She told me she was going to have her birthday, her next birthday or something like that. She's going to go to the orphanage to do something. That's what she loves to do because she's seen me on social media. I do such things. So she's going to add me up to something, and next year we are going to go to the orphanage and all that. And I took a number. Yeah, that's what I did. So have you forgotten on my birthday? So her birthday was April 4th. Mine was June 27th. So on my birthday, because she had told me that's what she does, and that's what apparently I also do. So I added up to the June foundation, and she came. Yeah, she came.
He's trying to embellish stuff.
No, that's the truth.
And make it look like.
No, that's the truth.
Please take note that he wasn't even expect to even begin with.
Okay.
I mean, in your high school, I mean, our high school days, this is somebody who was very notorious. So
Okay.
I hadn't even seen him, but I mean, as he rightly said, when we met at the extra classes, and then he took the form of a good Samaritan, basically, and then helped me out. And I think we spoke, but I don't remember taking his number.
She took my contact.
But if
because,
you say so,
I can't lie about this, because I invited her for the June Foundation. And even after I took her, you know, when we spoke after that, it took me a very great while to really get into contact with her. But I mean, that was just the first phase of us talking. So that's when actually the real work had to start.
I think if I'm not admitting to it, but if he's saying that I took his number, it was probably because of the event that was ahead,
so
and he shared the same. No, I didn't want to say thank you, but we shared the same vision and all of that. And fast forward, you also did a program along those same lines, and then you invited me. So
I'm doing truthful.
That was it. But the number aspect is a bit.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's all right.
So this guy, I mean, he came in the form of, let's do God's work, I mean, let's be friends. But he caught feelings along the way, because I was out there, as I said, we are in 2 different classes. I'm not interested, and so we went along doing more of non-governmental, what we call it, philanthropic works, basically. And then we got to know each other. I saw that this was somebody who really wanted me as a friend. So I stayed, I played that role as a friend. But along the line, you gotta be sending some text message. But I was out there dating other people, and he had turned himself into a vetting committee, and literally like, oh, why are you dating this person? And when I break up with the person, he would come like, oh, I knew this won't end anywhere. I know what you want. And I'm like, I'm not interested.
No, that's not true.
And it got to the point. It got to the point. He's like, oh, can you get me? Because then I had my NGO, so the Godly Woman Foundation, and then we had young, beautiful girls. And then he's like, oh, can you get me somebody like you? I'm like, what you say like me? I'm talking about my form. Like, what exactly? Oh, very godly like you, blah blah blah. But let's put that aside. So I think, what was very instrumental was when, I'd lost my 6-year relationship, and there was not a bit of fiction, but I launched my book and I didn't invite him. He got to know, like, he was trailing me. Man was trailing me, because there was one particular time I came to Ghana. I don't know how he found out. Somebody told him I'd come to Ghana, and we weren't even talking. I was like, when I had returned back to the UK, he called me. He's like, yeah, I came to Ghana. I was like, yeah, we are not friends, so like, what's the big deal?
Ooh.
So after I lost my 6-year relationship, through that process, I was waiting on God, praying and what have you not. And then I was in Manchester as a friends, but Mr. and Mrs. Datsun, I remember very profoundly. And then I saw it wasn't even a voice call, video call from somebody. We are not fighting, but we are not like that. Do you get me? And then, hello, I'm like, yeah, hi. And it's like, oh, it's been a while. I need you back in my life as a friend. You remember that call? You remember that call with the yellow shirt?
I remember that call, but I think we said so many things.
Yes, but you had seen the vacuum. He had
so
seen
she's missing out on a whole lot of things. She's missing out on a whole lot of things. Okay, what she said, yeah, that's the process. But all the time, all the while she was dating, for a very great while I wasn't dating myself. I had no interest. Not because
you're waiting for me.
No, I wasn't, and I'm pretty sure if I had dated her at that time, I would have also lost her. Because I feel that maybe perhaps the indicators or certain things that we're supposed to build in our lives to be able to accommodate each other at that point in terms of maturity and so many other things wouldn't have been ripe at the time. So it would have been premature for me to have her. Not to say she's a bad person, but we might not have been even compatible at the time. So, it was all good. But personal, I also had series of circles that I went through. There were so many nice girls I could have, but I deliberately decided not to date for a very great period.
Energy, you don't feel the vibe. I don't feel the vibe, oh. You don't feel the vibe. I don't feel the vibe. Hey, let's go. You don't feel the vibe. I don't feel the vibe, oh. Let's go.
you know what? Before we dated, we're best friends. So she tells me what happened. So maybe when I see another girl, I can send it to her. Jennifer, what do you think? She's like, hey, does you know that kind of thing? Vice versa, that's what she does. But there's never a point I had even raised an objection to any of the guys or said anything.
You raised it in your heart?
No, not in my heart. I liked you, but I mean, I was just chill about it. Because you know, guys, we can like so many people. And the one which works, you just pursue. So I'd never said anything about it. So what happened was, all the people that she did, even the birthday thing we attended, she was one of. She was with a boyfriend at the time, and I was there. I was alright. I was chill because we came for the purpose to do the job, and after we all leave. So I was cool. I spoke to him. I mean, no hard feelings. But what it was what she's saying. The actual truth of yes, I was at the washing day, and I called her. I just gave her a random call, and we had spoken at length, and the things we spoke, like I bear witness with most of the things. So I sort of, wow, Mrs. Yo again, because we had fought, and I was like, yo, I think you need me back, because we were not speaking for a very great time. I was like, oh yeah, I need you back. She's like, oh, she blew the cover. She's gonna come to Ghana. When she comes, we took our plans and all that, and she came.
We took our plans as friends, but you knew your intent.
Yeah, because I want you now. So let me get you, and you want me. Yeah, that's it.
I was meeting a pastor at the mall or something. I mean, we had planned that we will meet up and what have you not. And then I turn and it's Kwabena. Oh, I'm picking my little brother from the mall. I'm like, oh, what a nice coincidence. So then I think we started texting, and then he's like, oh, he wants to take me out, because I think when I was in the UK, I did say that I wanted to go to Royal St. Chief.
Yeah, I think Royal
so this guy, this young handsome man.
That means she's coming to lie. If she does that, she's coming to lie.
He had planned to ask me out to be his girlfriend at Royal St. Chi in collaboration with my cousin.
Okay.
So we got there. I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. But I could feel like there's something this guy is not saying, but let me also just play along. So we sat down to have our meal. Cool down, my dog. Cool down. So we sat down to have our meal, and then so this boy gets up, he's going to the washroom. Like, you can tell, like, he's uneasy. I'm like, what's going on? So not knowing, let me just wrap it up. He had planned to ask me out, but he was scared. So all he was going to and fro from the bathroom was like he was on the phone with my cousin Charlie. I know fit. I know.
Oh, would you believe that? Would you believe that?
So we left Royal St. Chief without him making his intent known, basically. Yeah.
Would you believe that? So apparently, I'm just wishing that after the video is posted, you could just go to the comment section to see the comments and how people were. I mean, certainly not. I could have even proposed to her before she coming in. But when I met her at the mall, I was picking my kid brother up. I saw her, she was with a pastor friend, and we spoke and all that. And she looked very, at the point I had not even developed. You know, she was my best friend. So, I mean, being a best friend with somebody, there are possibilities of anything. So you never doubt that.
No, Pepe.
But, oh yeah, you can say that, yes. But it had not developed to that point. So when we started talking and we planned the trip. So apparently, yes, I spoke to her cousin. And her cousin happens to be my best friend. He was my best man, Alex. Yeah. And what happened was, I told him my intent. But you know, as a guy, before you go ahead to ask anybody out, and on record, I never ask anybody out and they say no.
So,
yeah, so cool. So I mean, I could have, because at the point, I felt I had developed the relationship to the point where she can't say no. Okay, she can't say no. But what I did was I looked at the circumstances and where we were, because she had come from UK, she had gone through so many issues. So she was telling me now in person what she had been through, how tough certain things have been. So we're just sharing the moment. So I just didn't want to go off with that conversation there, because we're talking about family, we're talking about so many things. So I just wanted the right time to hit the nail on the head. So I was contemplating, should I still slip this in? Because sometimes when you slip such things in, these girls, they feel you are not being, what's the right word to say? You're not being considerate because they're telling you things and So I listened to her, we ate. I just made her feel very good. She had a book she was writing, she spoke to me about the book. When we're doing the kayak, on the water. She was telling her, so just chill. There's more times, and I knew when she was leaving. So I was just waiting for the perfect time. So I didn't ask her out there. So the perfect time, when I asked her out,
afraid.
I was never scared. You should just check the comments and see what people will say. Me being afraid, no, come on, they know me. So so what happened? The perfect time was she invited me for an all-night service at her church with her mom and her kid sister.
And the Spirit of the Lord helped you.
Oh yeah, because I was in tune at the time. I was in tune, heavily in tune at the time, so there was no way I could miss it. I mean, yeah, still in tune. I mean, but what happened was when she invited me, certain things crossed my path. I even told her I was going to get back to her, but at the latter points, I don't know, I was just being led. No, just go for this thing. Just go. So I went for the all night, and we sat together. We're praying. We're just in, because I had known her kid sister. Like I'm very cool with the family, like everyone in there. So we spoke and all that. With her mom, your mom always cracking jokes, we're laughing, even at the church. So what happened was, whilst we were praying, I stare at her, and I'm like, that's when I was liking it. Like, that's when I felt it. That's when I felt like, there's something about this girl. That's when it was developing. At the point, that's what was developing. So I think Josie wanted water or something like that. So we were going to buy it for her, and we went out. That's Josie's her kid sister. When we went out and we bought the water, and I looked at her again, I don't know why, but it's weird, but that's when I knew, Jennifer, this will be my wife. Yeah, not even girlfriend. I was like, this will be my wife. She looked, and she had not done any makeup. She was just, but at the point, that's when everything started. That's when I developed it. I just caught it there. So that was the right time. So what happened was, so when I knew, so I just kept saying me, but everything could show we liked each other. At the point, it was so clear. And I just knew it was the right time because I developed it way ahead. Look, if I had asked her out, I asked her out at the right time. I believe that was the right time. But even if I had asked her out earlier, she would have still said yes, even when she was dating. But look, listen, we had the all night, and with their church, the all nights, sometimes they close at dawn, they close at 4 or 5, but hers, they close at 8. So I was extremely tired. So sometimes when they close at 5, 8, you should be at home sleeping, but they closed at 8, and the church is closer to her home. She was at Spintex, but I lived a bit far from there. So I was on the motorway, and I was dozing off. So I quickly picked up my phone and called her that, okay, let's be on the line whilst I drive home. Perhaps just keep me company so that I don't fall asleep while I was driving. She was like, okay, fine. But she's doing something for her mom. And I was like, Jennifer, please, She was like, okay, fine. So we started chatting. So while we were chatting, I noticed I was still dozing off. So sometimes I go off the road and I come back in. And I was like, no, let me tell this girl I love. Let me tell her I love her before maybe, even if anything would happen to me, because I didn't want to die hiding my feelings. So, so that was when I was scared. Actually, that was when I was scared. Not a royal century. That's when I was scared because I didn't know how she was going to take it. If she's going to say no to me, usually with guys too, when you say no, it ruins the relationship, and so many other things. Maybe perhaps she just sees me as a friend. Why am I doing this? Like I'm rushing. I was just talking to myself while speaking to her. And I was like, nah, let me just hit her up. So I wanted to get her attention. So with Jennifer, if I want to get her attention, I put her in suspense. So I'm like, Jennifer, there's something I have to tell you I've not told you, like jokingly. She was like, what, tell me? I was like, oh, you're another type. She was like, she kept insisting, tell me now. And I was like, now I have her attention. So then, like the usual, I just told her, you and I, looking at where we've been, understanding our differences and all that. I spoke powerfully. And after I finished, and when I was speaking, I was waiting to hear feedback. So some of the things, when I said, she's like, yeah, that's true, Yeah, she was confirming all the things I was saying. I was like, jackpot. So I put it, so when I finished, when I asked her out, when I ask you out, I don't just be like, we give you, I talk. I talk. Please. I talk. I really talk. And I'll let you be beyond doubt. Keep beyond doubt. Because when you tell me you're going to think about it, and I'm not giving you adequate reasons, so I talk for long. Give you adequate premises. So what happened was she told me, okay, fine, she was going to get back to me because her mom, she has to do things. So at the point we finished the conversation, I was at home too. So I slept. In initial times you might be anxious about what the answer or the outcome may be. So I slept. So when I woke up, I saw the messages. Oh, she's blessed to be mine. She's really thankful for this.
Blessed.
She also, she talks a lot. She gave me a whole. Yeah, you said I have the chat. Where's my phone?
Show it today.
Yeah, isn't it? You can just search our conversation. Blessed. It will come. That'll be the last. And she was like, oh, she's blessed to have me. She also feels we can make us the purpose because a whole lot of things. Like, so I was asleep then. So she had sent the message. Because I had asleep, she thought maybe I had seen it. So there was the last message. I still remember that last message. She said, "Hey, boyfriend," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't offer." Yeah. So that was it. That's how I asked her out, and ever since it's been blissful.
He's told so much lies. I don't know where to start.
Oh, really?
Like,
but the chats are there.
But wait, you saying I said X and X. What did you say? What did you also say?
But that's what I said. I told you that looking at.
Or
you want me to tell them what I said to you?
Wait, I will still stand by what I said. That this guy liked me from the onset. Right after we began to do things together, he began to open up about his family. I did likewise. He liked me because certain, hey love, good morning. Oh, have you eaten?
Well, I never denied that. Yeah, that's true.
You did.
Come on, why would I ask you out when I don't like you?
No, I'm not talking about when I got to Ghana. But I'm saying that even when you started dating whoever you were dating, you liked you liked me. That's what I'm just trying to establish.
I don't deny that.
All the things he's talking about, that I am blessed, I am this, I am that, I am that. Let's take that out. Every other thing, I think, is.
Yeah. So the chats are there.
So my husband doesn't know how to do surprise. If they are planning anything for me, he'll come and tell me.
Oh, my bad.
Or he'll find a way. I'm like, can you just, so I could just read. So even the proposal, because he had what he was going to do, but along the way, he needed to make some adjustments. So he's like, he had to just discuss with me, and then I found out. So I knew there was going to be a proposal, but as at when, but because I'm very discerning, I knew okay, let's see, Jennifer, come here. I knew it was going to happen. So it's just so transparent, I can just see through him. So I mean, yeah, it was like, even if it wasn't a surprise, like how I wanted it, I still, as he said, like the words, he's been consistent over the period. And every word he's given to me over the period, he's held on to it. So even though it wasn't like the proposal, the traditional proposal you see out there, it really meant a lot to me. With Get List, I will leave him to it because he really put his blood and sweat into it. But I mean, we agreed on the numbers because as you know, everything is budget, everything is money because you are paying per head and all of that. But with the Guest List, I'll just roll it out to him.
Yeah. So with the Guest List, I was the mastermind behind the Guest List because I like things properly coordinated, and I didn't want issues here. I don't want people feeling disrespected. Sometimes people come in when they're not invited, and all those sort of things. I wanted a very nice wedding because I think I'd taken some footnotes from my very good sister Priscilla's wedding, how she did hers. So I also wanted the same thing. So with the guest list, we decided on the numbers, and for the very first time, I had equal numbers with her. Sometimes there are some myths like, the lady is supposed to, it's her day, so she needs more. But I think with Jennifer's, I think at the point she gave me some of her numbers because, and both of us, we have lots of friends, because I'm from a very big family, but she's from a bigger family in terms of numbers and sizes and all that. So what happened was we wanted to get the numbers right, and also we've been through so many schools, so many friends, so we just wanted to come, and we're limited with the space too as well. So the guest list was something we paid so much attention to, and that's what took a chunk of our time. So with the guest list, I think we planned on how many people?
So for the traditional, it was 150?
Oh yeah, so for the traditional it was 150 and the wedding was 250, which later went to 300 and even more. But with the guest list, what we did, sometimes you don't want to leave hurts to people. And I personally, I don't know why people take offense in such things, because sometimes, we're just working with a budget. You could be my friend, but because of some reasons, I can't invite you. That doesn't mean maybe you're not my friend or I see you any different, but you can't just... And there are so many instances where people have had their weddings and they don't invite me or anything, and it's fine, it's all right. It's all right. I never see you as any, but so that was the part. That was what I was scared of. so that I don't lose very good friends that I've been able to build over the years just because of invitation to my wedding. I mean, if I had all the resources in this world, definitely I would open it up for everybody to come. But I had to be restricted because you have your family, especially your dad, your mom, your sisters, because I've attended their weddings, they gave me slots. You need to give back also to them. You have your sister, you have a lot of people. Even your best man would want a slot. Some people would want people. And even these people you're inviting, they also might. The guest list was a big challenge to me. So what I did was we had to take our time. And look, I attended Achimota school. And I had so much friends. Even with Achimota, I could invite only 3 people. Can you imagine? Yeah. So it was terrible. So with the guest list, we just had to do that, call the people in. So we actually had an online RSVP that we used for people to confirm their participation so that we can know. I think that really helped. I think I'd advise people to get that. We had our wedding on the Easter. We had the trad on the Thursday before the Good Friday, and then we had the wedding on the Holy Saturday. So a lot of people were traveling out for Easter breaks and all that. So when you send them the link, they're able to tell you, oh, I'm not available. You get it through that, because there are some people that you might never meet or come into contact with them for them to even tell you that they're traveling or they'll be away. So the link really helped us, and we're able to know all these people. We took them out and we re-invited we put in new slots. So we did that over time. People kept declining. You just see because for some reason, some people are shy to even say it to you. So they just decline on the link, and then you're able to sort out all those sort of things. So we used that, and that was also that also helped us. But going very strictly with the guest list, it helped us. We face a lot of challenges where people might not being invited, and even the people who ended up spreading the wedding. Sometimes when you post on Instagram, when the vendors post, those who repost and put it on your story are people whose names were not even in the vendor list. Yeah, I was like, geez, where we are going? Like the people a lot of people who showed love and all that, their names were not in the vendor list. So sometimes you go back, you tweak
the guest
it.
list.
Yeah, the guest list. Yeah, the guest list. So it was a very tough one for me, honestly. The entire wedding plan, where I had the stress of my life, sometimes I know, with our parents, they give you the names. They're like, oh, for example, my dad was like, oh, I think this time around I'll just come with a few friends. I just want 10 slots. And I'm like, okay, fine, Dad, are you sure? He's like, yeah, sure, just 10 slots. Like, Dad, are you sure? He's like, oh, 10, yeah, now and there. He doesn't really want to bring in a lot of friends. I was like, okay. So we budgeted it, we did it, and we did the vendor list. Now I met him again, we spoke, he gave me additional 40 names. Yeah, and I was like, Dad, should I take my friends out and put your friends in? Because my dad, yeah, he's a financier, so yeah. And I did that, and when we did that, you had to take people. It was just stressful. It was just stressful. We had ushers. Yeah. We booked ushers. Enesang, ushering. So we booked Enesang to make sure that everybody, because it was the tables were named, according to flowers and where everybody wants to sit. You want to put people together and place them appropriately so that they can have fun and all that. So yeah, we did that. Yeah.
This is what happened. So as he said, we procured the services of Enesang. So there's a guest list, they are taking, they'll give you a ticket, this is your table, what have you not? And then I just know how my parents are. I know how my mom is. She's hard show woman. So like they're like, so the event or the reception was supposed to start at 6 p.m. And so I told him, when we got there, I was like, let's get in quick, because if my mom comes, this picture that we are taking here to end right, because she will just like enter and like, what are we doing and all of that. So I managed to get him in. We are taking our pictures, our videos in the decor, and then there are guests waiting outside, because after all they're supposed to wait so they can have some shots in there. Then my mom just gets in, looks at the one and he like which young which my mom just open, hey, come inside. So she flung the doors open and coming like. So then I think the coordinator like, who is that shit? Mother of the bride. So their work was just stopped in just like a blink of an eye, because at that point we're almost done with the picture and then I saw my mom open the door. So quickly we used the back and then went to the rooms that was allocated to us, because when we got in, seats were filled and all that, but there was space. There were some spaces. So I was like, that scenario is very funny for me, because I know how my mom is and how she just like literally opened the door. Hey, get in.
I think you know that experience. I think it qualified as a funny. I think on Jennifer's side, it qualified as a funny, but on my side, it was a lesson learned. It helped. Look, trust me. And look, all the hours, all the days, weeks of work we've put in the guest list, it worked perfectly. Look, when it opened and everybody got in, you know, that day it rained, and you know the feedback from the people were like, yo, they now had to go through the invitation, brides list, grooms list, and look at it. It was taking time, and sometimes they can't even find your name. The name they used to RSVP is not, you know, a whole lot of things. So when she did that, I think it was a lesson for me.
Yeah.
It went smoothly. Everybody sat. Look,
and everybody sat where they wanted to.
Where they wanted to sit.
Some people we had grouped them, but they're like they didn't want to be on that because they were probably seeing some friends, some long time friend.
Yeah. Everybody sat,
yes,
and there was
went that way.
It was pep, and you know what? It helped me a lot. It saved me. It saved me in the sense that there were people I had not even spoken to about the wedding because of time. You know, when you're planning these things, you forget about everybody. So, but you know, that's what I'm saying, that the true people, the real people, when they hear about you and all that stuff, they would just want to come and support, whether invitation or no invitation. They would even come there and be embarrassed and go home. That's fine. But they would never stay home without trying. So they came to the wedding. A lot of them, Jennifer, a lot of my friends came to the wedding, and they had not said anything about reception. But they followed us there. And all of them entered. So I had no issues with those people, because if they had not come, or maybe if I'd reached out to them, maybe saying, oh, you know, invitation, I don't have slots, can you just bear with me, that kind of thing, maybe they would have.
But I think that invitation, like strictly by invitation, because prior, like months ahead of time, it was in the heads of people that this is strictly by invitation. So if you don't have an invitation,
work, honestly,
it helped. I think that it did cut down.
And after, maybe an afterlife somewhere where there will be another wedding again. Honestly, I don't know.
I think it worked for me.
You just open it.
I've gone to a lot of schools.
There were a lot of people
like afterwards, you on the group chat, you didn't invite us to the wedding.
It's all right, but just open it up. The people we invited, a lot of people we invited, did not even come up, and they didn't even say anything.
No apology was
no apologies, nothing. They just didn't come. So just leave it open. When there's an overflow, just let moments manage itself. Don't think so. So that was the lesson I learned. Your mom made it like, look, let moments manage itself. Yeah. That's all.
It's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sad.
You know, like Jennifer said, we've not been married for a very long period, but from the relationship and from the advisors, the parents, very loved ones and close ones have given, what I would say worked for me in my relationship and was renewed into our marriage life is that just never make compromise on who you want to settle with.